Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today we are going to solve a new question from top interview 150, which is product of array except self. Okay, and this is a medium level question. In this question we have been given an array and we need to return an array as answer. Okay, and also what we have to do here is that we need to find the product of all the numbers at that for that position. Okay, let's say now we have 1 2 3 4. So at the 0th index we need to return the product of 2 3 4. Means if we are on the 0th index, the value stored for that index will be 24. Then when we have when we move to the first index, then the product should be of 1 3 and 4. Okay, so what we will be having here, we will be having 12. In the same way we will have, when we move on to the second index, we will find the product of 1 2 and 4, so we will get 8 here. In the same way, when we are on the last index, we will get the product of 1 2 and 3, so we will be returning 6 here. Okay, so this is what we are supposed to do here. Now we need to return the product, and we have been told some criteria here, that we need to write an algorithm that runs in O of n time, and we don't have to use division operation. Okay, so in the brute force approach that we think we can find the product of the entire array and we can divide it by that number, right? So we have been given here that we cannot use the division operation, so that thing cancels out on its own. And in the brute force we also think that we can use two arrays, and we can find the product of each number one by one. But here what we have been told, that we have to use O of n time complexity, so both of the brute force approaches cancel out here. But here what we will do, we will be discussing those, and we will discuss the optimal approach too. So first we will read the problem description again, so we will have a clear idea of what we have to do here. We need to return answer, and that answer will be in the form of an array. All the at every index, the product will be it will contain the product of all the elements except the number in the original array. Okay, so we have to be clear with that, what we have of what we have to find the product, and where and what we have to store and how we have to store. Okay, so we have also been told that the product of any prefix or suffix sum is guaranteed to fit in a 32-bit integer. So basically this has been told for people who use Java or C++, as they will be using a kind of data type restrained variable. So for that it has been told that 32-bit integer maximum value will be there on finding the maximum product. So you can use the your required data type. Okay, so here we have a product, means we have one example where we found the product, and we have one more example here, that -1 1 0 -3 and 3. So here what we have to return, when we are on -1, whenever we are multiplying anything with 0, it will return 0 only. So everything except 0 will be returning 0, and for 0 what we will get 9, right? Because we have -1 into 1, which gives us -1, and then we multiply it with -3, then we will get 3, and 3 multiplied by 3 will give us 9. So we will have 0 0 9 0 here. Okay, now we have been told that the length of the array can lie from 2 to 10 power 5. Okay, and the numbers in the length, means the whatever numbers here we will be finding will be between -30 to 30. Okay, so howsoever product you will be finding, it will always be a 32-bit integer. Okay, so this is what we have been told here. Now the basic approach that we will be thinking after seeing this question is that we can use a loop, right? Means if we have this array, let's take the first array 1 2 3 4. So if we have this array, then what we can do, we will be using one loop to be iterating on the array, and then the other inside loop what we will use it to find the product, right? So what we will be doing here, for we are seeing the kind of brute force approach, and the time complexity we will be having for this is O of n square. Okay, so whenever you are trying this question in the interview, so start from the brute force, so you can build up a approach and you can reach the maximum optimal approach, and the interviewer will also know that yeah, you can build up a problem from the scratch. Okay, so for the first approach we have time complexity O of n square, and what we are doing here is we are starting from I is equals to 0 and we will go till less than n, and the inner loop will be j, and we will be starting from 0 and it will go till less than n, right? Now when we are on the first position, right, means when we are on the 0th index, okay, we need to find the product of all these three, right? So what we can do here, we can start the multiplication from here, as we cannot leave a, means let's say we are here, okay, and what we are doing, we are starting from a given index, then we will be missing out these two numbers, right? We cannot do that. So for that what we will do, we will iterate j from 0 only every time. And now what we will do, let's say our array that we have used is 1 2 3 4 only, and now for for the j is equals to 0, we cannot use this number for a product, right? So for that what we will do, whenever we are finding, if whatever value of j we are having, it is equals to the ith position, means here I is equals to 0, right, and j is also equals to 0, I cannot use that to find the product, right? So what I will do here, I will be using if j is equals to I, then I will just continue. Otherwise if it is not equal, then what we can do, we can find the current let's say I am using product here, okay, so I can find the product. So what I will use, product is equals to product multiply by the number at the jth index, right? If the array is ARR, then ARR of j. Now we need to reinitialize product every time, right? And we have to initialize the product by 1, right? Because if we initialize product with 0, every time we multiply it will be returning 0 only. So we need to return initialize product with 1. So now after starting of every loop, we need to initialize product with 1, and once this loop ends, then what we need to do, we need to add it in our answer, right? So what we will do, we will take an answer and we will add or append, whatever language you are using, you can add it to your add it to your answer array, okay? So we can add the product here and we will move forward. Now how will this code work? Okay, so now when we have I is equals to 0 and j is equals to 0, now this is the array, that is the answer. Okay, let's name it that answer. Now my I is equals to 0 and j is equals to 0, and I have checked that if I is equals to j, then I will continue, so I will not do anything right now, and now my j will increment and it will become 1, right? Now we will see that these both are not equal, so what I will do, I will find the product. My product initial value is 1 and the value that I have on the first index is 2, so my product will be storing 2 right now. Again the j value will increment and it will be having, it will move to second index, and we have 3 here. So what we will do, product is equals to product into array of j, right? So we have to find the product of 2 and 3. So what we will get, product will get updated to 6, right? So we will have 6 here. Now again j will get updated to 3. What do we have at third index? We have 4. So again product will we will multiply and product will get updated to 24, right? 6 multiplied by 4 will give us 24. Now when we will move to 4, means j will increment to 4, it will see that the n value, it is becoming greater than, it is becoming means equal to n, right? And what we have checked here, we have to check that it is less than n, right? So the condition will become false and we will move out. Now what we have here, we have to add this to our answer. Now what will happen, out of this, means when the j finishes, j loop is ending, then 24 will get added to our answer. Okay, so answer has answer is updated to 24. Again now we will move to I loop. We will have 1 here. Now we will be starting from 0th index again, right? So we will be starting from 0th index again. Now for the 0th index, it is not equals to I. So what will happen, we can use this to multiply, and since our product is getting reinitialized every time we enter the j loop, so again our product will be initializing from 1. Now 1 is getting multiplied by 1 only, so we will be getting 1. Now again our pointer will move to like first index, right? And our I is also equals to 1 only. Now if both are equal, then what we have to do, we will just continue. So our j will move to the second index. Then we will see that this is not equals to I, so we will find the product, and now our product will get updated to, for second index product will get updated. Okay, so product will get updated to 3. Now again we will move on to the third index. We will see it is not equal, so again we will find the product, and we will get product is equals to 3 multiplied by 4, that is 12, right? Now again j will increment, and then what we will see, that our condition is becoming false, so we will move out, and now answer will have already 24, and we will add one more value, that is 12. Okay, so in this way we will keep on adding the required result for each index. Now this what we discussed here was a brute force approach. Now how can we like reduce the time complexity, right? Although we are not using any like specific extra space, right? We are storing only the answer that is needed, because we need to return the array as the answer. Instead of that, we are not using any like spaces, so the space complexity will be O of 1 only here. Now we need to try to like make it in a better approach, right? So in a better approach, what we can do, let's see how to do this in a better approach. Now what we can think here is like if we have been given 1 2 3 4, one more thought that that comes in our mind is since we want to what we need to do, we need to reduce the time complexity to O of n, and we need to try to keep our space complexity as O of 1, right? So the other the other approach that comes to our mind is, why can't we just multiply each digit, and for every digit at that index we will find that we will find the division value, right? Means let's say if we take the product. Now what we will be getting product of the entire array, we will be getting as 24, right? Now when I divide it by 24 by 1, I will be getting 24 only. In the previous value we saw that we are getting 24. Now when we divide 24 by 2, we will be getting 12. In the same way, when we will be dividing 24 by 3, we will be getting 8. In the same way, when we will be dividing 24 by 4, we will be getting 6. So this is kind of our expected answer, right? So what we if we are trying to optimize, and this has not been specified that you cannot use a division method, then it is a good approach, right? But where do we face a problem, right? Now let's say we have been given one more test case, right, where we are using negative values also and 0 also. Now what will happen, let's say we are finding the product here. Okay, so when we find the entire product, it will return 0 to us. For cases where we do not have, we have values greater than 0, it's fine. If we don't have 0, this condition will be working very perfectly. We will not find any error, and it will be quite easy also, right? We just need to iterate in a loop and go till less than n. We will be finding the product, find product, and then just store the result of the division, right? But here what is happening, when we are coming across the array where we have 0, then we will be facing problem, right? Because now what we have here, we have multiply all the numbers and we are getting 0 here, and now that is fine. Okay, we are getting 0 because we will be getting 0 for all these value. But what about this number on the 0th index? The expected value is 9, right? So we will not be getting our expected answer. Now we kind of updated our code, right? we were not using any spaces, it was in a O of n complexity only, but it failed due to the occurrence of 0 here, right? So you can use this approach in your interview, right? It is not a wrong approach. You can use division method, but it will fail when you have 0. So you can show this as an answer when like this is an approach, and you can say that this case will fail when we have like test case where we have 0. So we can continue on to a better optimal approach, right? So we will not be using any spaces here, we will be continuing with normal like it will be not having any extra spaces, we will be using only O of one space, and we will not be using any division method. Okay, no division method, and O of n time complexity. So as asked in the question, we will be following this rule and we will be finding out the optimal approach now. So now after seeing all this, we saw that if we have this number, okay, now if I am starting like from here and I am continuing with the means product, means if I have 1, okay, it's fine, I don't need that right now, but this 1 will have the product from the back, right? Means if I am having 1 here, it does not have any value on the left side, but it has value on the right side, and we need the product of these numbers. So if we have any way such that if we are on the first index, we can get the value of rest of the product, means value, we get the product of rest of the elements, then we can get a required value answer, right? Now if we are on 2, let's say we are on 2, then we need to get the product from this direction, this side also, and we can get the product, we have to get the product from this side also, right? And what we have to do, let's say if I am starting to find the product from this side, now I need to store this value every time, and let's say we have here 1 2 3 4, again for 3 I need the product of this side also and this side also, and if I am finding the product of 1 multiplied by 2, I can store it in my answer array, right? If let's say I am on the first 0th index, so I am iterating in such a way that every time I am finding a number, I am storing a product, okay? So also we need to keep in mind that if we are on the same index, we cannot store that value as the product. Means if I am on first index, I cannot store this product value on the first index, right? So I need to keep that in mind. Now if I find a way in such that I can store previous products in my answer, like if I am on the first index, I can store this product with 1 on my first index, then it will be good, right? Means once I am reaching on the second index, I am keeping a product of these two and I am storing it on my second index, and once I reach on the third index, I am storing these 3 products, right? So I am getting 6 here. So what I am doing here, basically, if I am iterating from 0 to less than n, right, and I am finding the product and storing the value before that, means I am finding the product also, but I cannot store the product at that same index. If I am finding the product for 0th index, I cannot store this value here, I have to store this on this position, right? So what I can do, simply, if I can store the product, means let's say my product, I am initializing a value called product, and in this I am finding out the product and storing it every time. Now, and I have an array called answer where I am storing the answer, okay? So now what happens, let's see, I am finding the product and storing it in my array, and I cannot store that same index value, right? We need to find the product except self. So I can simply store this product in my answer array right now, because I cannot use the product from this index. I cannot use 1, I can use the previous value. So initially we have 1 here, so simply what I can do, at my answer, at that index, what I can do, I can store that value. I can simply store product here, right? for the first like 0th index, I don't have to store any value, right? Because before that I don't have any number. Now let's say I move on to first index. I am on first index now. Okay, so I need to store this product here. Okay, and to do that I will have to store that value, right? So what I can do, I can update this product here, right? Means I have already stored the value in my answer. Now I can update my product. So what I can do here, I can update the product is equals to product into, let's say it is ARR, so ARR of I. Now what I am doing here, let's say I have this 1 2 3 4, okay, and this is my answer. Right now what we can do, initially we need to initialize all of these with 1. Why do we do that? Because like we are multiplying the value with product here, so if I initialize that value with 0, everything will turn out to be 0, and I cannot afford that right now. Okay, so in order to avoid that, we are initializing all the values with 1. Okay, and now what we have here means, first step what we do, we are directly storing the value in the answer. So like the product is also 1, and this answer at 0th index is also 1, so fine, it is 1. Now what we do, we update the product with product into ARR of I. Now we are multiplying this value. Okay, so now what happens, our product value also becomes 1. Means it was 1 only, but now we have the product also. Now what happens when we move to this index, right? So what I need to do here is, I need to again like for this index I need to store this product here, right? Because I am storing the previous value products here now. Means I am moving in this direction only. I am storing the only previous value products. Okay, so now what is happening, I will be storing again. Now my answer will get updated to 1 1 and 1, means although no changes are seen, but I am assigning a value here because my product only got 1 from the previous answer. So right now no changes are seen. Now again my product, what will happen, it will get multiplied with this number at that index, right? So it will become product is equals to 1 into 2, which will give us 2, right? Now what I can do, I need to store these two values at this index, the product of 1 and 2 at this index, right? So now I have my required value, right? When I come inside this loop again and my answer is means I am storing the answer value, then what I will be storing here, answer at that index will become 1 1, and 1 multiplied by 2, that will give us 2, and we will be storing the value like this, right? Again what will happen, my product will get updated, and now what we will do, we will multiply it with like we will be multiplying it with 3 here, right? We will be since we are on the second index, we will be multiplying it with 3, and now what we will get here, product will get updated to 2 into 3, which is 6, right? Now again when we will come in means come to this line, means come to this statement, what will happen, now this statement will get updated, right? This index will get updated. So what I will get here now, 1 1 2 and 6 multiplied by 1, what I will get, I will be getting 6 here, right? So this is my answer for moving from left to right. Okay, again my product will get updated, right? I will not be missing out any values, right? And so what will happen, we will have product is equals to 6 multiplied by 4, which will give us 24 here, right? Now what is happening, we have stored the values here, right? Let's see how is our answer value right now. The expected values are, for the first index here we will be having 24, then for the second index we will be having 12, third index we will have 8, and for the last index we will have 6. Now the expected value that we have here is 6, right? We see that we already have the last value, right? Now we need to have 4, we will need to multiply the value with 4 here, we need to multiply the value that we have here with 12, and here the value will be multiplied with 24, right? Now we see that in our value that we have here 1 2 3 4, we moved on from this side and we multiplied each value and we got 1 1 2 6, right? Now I already have the last value, so I don't have to make changes here, right? So when I move to this means I find the product of these both, and I see that the value that is missing here is 12. The value that I have here which is missing is 4. If I find the product of these three, that is 4 3s are 12 and 24, this is what it is missing here, right? If we are reversing the order now, we see that whatever value we are missing here can be completed if we move in the reverse order again, right? Let's say if I reinitialize my product value, that is the value I am using for product, finding the product, I am reinitializing it with 1, and now I move in the reverse order, okay? So I will be moving from I is equals to n minus 1 to greater than or equals to 0, okay? So if I move in the reverse order now and I see that the whatever value I am missing out, okay, is the number that I can find the product when I am reversing the values, right? Means if I am moving from this like from 4, I don't need any like value to multiply for this because I have got 6 here, okay? So I don't have to do anything here, which means that the like the thing that we were following here is almost the same as what we were doing here, right? First what we were doing, we were finding out the first we were doing finding out the product with that number at that index, and then we were updating our product value, right? So in the same way what we will do here, as we are seeing, means we don't have to change the value at this last index, right? That means this will be multiplied, if we are multiplying this value with 1 only, means 6 will be multiplied with 1 only, and then whatever value we have at this index, means on the real value or the real array, we will have to multiply this with the other value. Means first what we are doing, we are using the initial product to add in our to multiply in our answer, and then we are again updating the product as we were doing in the previous section where we were moving from left to right. In the same way, when we are moving to right to left, we will do the same thing, that we will find the product, okay, for that array index in the answer. So we will do the same, answer at I is equals to answer at I multiply by product, and then again what we will do, we will update our product with the value at the array, right? So ARR of I. Now let's see if this works or not. So the array or the answer that we have here is 1 1 2 6 till now, okay? Now when we start the iteration again now, so this is our array. Now we will be starting from here. Now for the first time what we have to do, we are just multiplying the product answer at I with product, means this one with 1 we are multiplying the 6, so we are getting the same value, right? So we are getting 6 here only, right? Now we have to multiply the array value, this 4 with the product, means we will be multiplying the 1, right? We have product value as 1, so 1 will be multiplied with 4, which will give us 4 as the answer, right? Now we will be again moving on to the index n minus 2, which is second index, right? We will be moving on to the second index, and again we will be multiplying the value, right, at the second index. So what we will get, we have product as 4 here and we have 2 here, so it will become 2 multiplied by 4, which will give us 8. Now we are about to we are moving on the right track, right? Because we were expecting to get 8 there, and we have got 8 here, right? Now let's move on and see if we are getting the further required answer or not, right? So now again our product will get updated, right? Now our product is having 4 and the value that we have in array at the second index is 3, so product will get updated to 12, right? Now in the when we will move on again, right, the value of I will become 1, the I will become 1 again. Now what will happen, we have 1 here and we have product as 12. So what we will get here, we will get 1, 12, 8 and 6. We see that we are about to reach the correct answer, right? Means this process that we are following is right. Means first we have to move on from left to right and we need to find the answer value. We will be finding the multiplication of the answer value with the product, and then we will be updating the product, right? Now what will happen, again our product will be getting multiplied with the value at this index and it will become 24. Now we have 24 here, and again when our loop comes to the 0th index, right, it will come to the 0th index, and now what will happen, we have product as 24 and we will be multiplying answer at I, which is 1, with 24, which will give us 24, right? So we will get 24, 12, 8 and 6, and this was our expected answer, right? Now let's say we have one more example, minus 1, 1, 0, minus 3 and 3, right? Now let's see if this works for this also. So first let's write down the pseudocode. What we have to do here, we will be starting from 0 and we will going till n less than n, and what we have to do here, we will be finding the product at that index, answer at I, multiply by product, and this product will be getting initialized with 1, right? So product will be initialized with 1 and then product will be getting updated. In the same way, we will, when we are moving from the opposite direction, we will be having the same value only. Product will be reinitialized with 1. We are moving from n minus 1 to greater than or equals to 0, and this part of code will remain same only. Okay, so now let's see if this works or not. So what we have to do here, we are moving from this direction to here. So this is our answer. Okay, so everything is initialized with 1. We have 5 values here, here also we have 5 values. Now we will be starting from this index. Now for the first time what we have to do, we cannot use this 0th index, right? So for the first time what is happening, product will be multiplied with the answer at I only. So we have 1 here, so we will be getting the simple 1, 1, 1. There will be no changes, right? Now we will be moving to this index and we have minus 1 here, right? So now product was in the previous step only, our product got updated to minus 1, right? So product was minus 1 and answer that we had at I was 1. So product will be stored at this index. So now what will happen, again our answer will get updated to 1, minus 1, 1, 1, 1. Now when we are at this index only, our product will again be multiplied, right, with ARR of I. So product will be minus 1 only, because minus 1 multiplied by 1 will give us minus 1 only. Now we will move on to this index. Now we need to store this previous product here, right? And we cannot store the 0th, multiply with 0 and store there, right? So we have answer at I and product value previous, right? So we will get minus 1 here. So it will also have 1, minus 1, minus 1, 1, comma 1. Till now we are not seeing major changes, right? So again what will happen, our product will get updated because it will get multiplied by 0, right? So minus 1 multiplied by 0 will give us 0. Now our answer in the second, when we are moving to the third index, it will get updated, right? So we will get minus 1, this will remain same, and now when we will multiply 1 with 0, we will be getting 0 here, right? Now again our product will get multiplied with minus 3, but we will get 0 only, because anything multiplied by 0 will give us 0 only. So this will be 0. Now when we will be moving to this last index, we will again multiply these both values. Now what we will get, we will be getting answer as 0 only. So we have 1 minus 1 minus 1, 0 and 0. So in the expected answer, what the values we had was 0 0 9 0 0, right? So last two values we have already got as we expected, right? Now once we reach the last end of the array, what we have to do, we need to reinitialize our product with 1. So again our product will get updated to 1. Right, now we have 1 here, and what will happen, this is 1, and let's say we have to move from left to right now. So for the first index, when we will multiply it, we will be getting 0 only, so there will be no changes, so it will be 0 0. Now our product will get multiplied with, I'll copy the array here, so 1 minus 1 1 0 minus 3 and 3, right? So now this one will this one will get multiplied by 3, right? So our product will get updated to 3. Now we will be moving to this index, right? So again we will multiply 0 with 3, so there will not we will not see any changes here, right? We will be getting 0 only. And again, since we are on this index, what we have value here, we have minus 3. The product will get multiplied by 3, and what will it will it will get updated to minus 9, right? So now we will move to the second index, right? So on the second index we see we have minus 1 here. So what we will do, our answer will become 1 minus 1 minus 9 will get multiplied with minus 1, and we will get 9 here, right? So it will become 1 minus 1 9 0 and 0. Again now we will move on to the, since we are on the second index, these both will also get multiplied. Now our product will become 0 again, right? Now when we will move on to the first index, what will happen, our answer will get updated to 0, right? Because we will be multiplying both of them. Now we will have 1 0 0 1 0 9 0 0. In the same way, product is 0 only, anything we will multiply, like if we multiply 1 also, we will be getting 0 only. Now answer will be 0 0 9 0 0. So the expected answer we are getting here using the process, right? Now so let's move on to the code editor and we will run this code. So let's run this code now. First what we have to do, we need to initialize an answer array, right? So for that I will initialize the array with 1, and it will be of size n, right? It will be the length of nums. So I will initialize the value of n, length of nums. Now we have to get one product also, means value for storing the product. It will be initialized with 1 only. Now we will have a for loop which will be getting, which will be starting from 0, and it will continue till less than n, right? So for I in range of n, and what we have to do, first we will store the value in answer, then we will update our product. So answer at I is equals to p product, right? And product will get updated nums of I, right? So this is how we will move from left to right. We will be storing from, means we will be storing the product from the front values. Now we need to store the value from back side, so we will move in reverse order, right? So for I in range of n minus 1 2 minus 1 and minus 1. So before that I need to reinitialize my product, and we need the same way, so I'll just copy it. Now what I need to do, I need to return this answer, right? Answer array. So I will simply return this answer. Now let's try to run it. So the sample test cases are passed. Let's try to submit it. So this code has been accepted. I will upload the rest of the two codes in my GitHub. You can access those from there. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments. And in case you have any doubts, let me know in the comments too. I will try to clarify it. And in order to continue with me in this coding journey, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you will be notified every time I post a new video. Thank you for watching.